Hi, I'm Clay Souza. I'm a wedding portrait photographer in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and you're watching 808 with Clay, where I go live every Monday and Wednesday to talk about photography, talk about marketing, talk about photography business. Every Monday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube, Clay Souza Official. We're also on Instagram with the same handle, instagram.com, Clay Souza Official, where I post every single day something related to photography. Most of the time, I'm posting about the three pillars to amazing and desirable photography. Those three pillars are lighting, composition, and posing. But you also sometimes go off route here and talk about strategies. And tonight is all about Instagram strategies for photographers. That's what it's all about. Okay. All right, cool. So in the meantime, guys, if you're here with me tonight, if you have questions, just type your question there. I want to address all the questions. Let's try. There's a lot of stuff packed for tonight. Let's go right into it. So I took a few notes here because I think a lot of people still think that Instagram is not a thing. And if you think that Instagram is not a thing, you totally missed the boat, because in 2012, Instagram is celebrating its 12th year. So it's here for 12 years. So it's a platform that came to stay. It's changed the way we do the internet. Now, is it going to be here for 10, 20 more years? I don't think so, but this is my personal opinion. Maybe I'm probably wrong, because I think Instagram is a very shallow social media type of thing. And I don't know, in 10 years, maybe it's going to be here, but it's not going to be what we know Instagram today. If you think about Facebook, Facebook's been here longer, but Facebook's much deeper. In Facebook, it's much easier to create connections. In Instagram, people are looking for shallow content, and we, as photographers, we need to adapt. We need to be using Instagram. All right. In 2021, there were 1.3 billion users on Instagram. I mean, billion with a B, with a capital B, 1.3 billion people, active users, not only users, active users on Instagram. Okay, now there's no way you can deny. I mean, you can't say Instagram is not a real thing. If that's what you're saying right now at this point, you totally missed the boat. It's going to be really hard for you to jump back in. All right, there is hope. Not everything's lost, but you need to get on it right now. Okay, so because as photographers, we have a huge advantage. Instagram is social media that relies on what? Images. And this is what we as photographers, we do every single day in and out. We create beautiful images. That's our area of expertise. And we have this social media that is very powerful, that that caters for photography. It's catered for photography. I used to say that Facebook makes you think that you have friends, and Instagram makes you think that you're a good photographer. But we are good photographers. We know how to take pictures, and Instagram is the right platform for us, because it caters for photographers. So imagine the situation. Imagine how a small business owner, let's say a restaurant, right? Small restaurant in the little town there, they are dying to get into Instagram. They try to get into Instagram, but how they can get good, beautiful images of their food, of their dining rooms, right? It's hard for them to do that. Okay, same thing. Not only a clothing store, like a small clothing store in a small town. How do they get into Instagram? Those people are getting swallowed by big companies, because those big companies come with like a marketing department with like big production, and they are swallowing these small guys, right? So we have all those beautiful images. We need to put those images out there. All right. Why is it important to be active in Instagram? Okay, why is it important? Because that's where your clients are. You may not like it, you may deny it, but that's where our clients are. I, as a wedding photographer, I find myself booking more and more weddings from people who found me first on Instagram. It's because I asked the question, how did you find me? And I kind of track back how they got from Instagram to me, and I went to Instagram, saw your images, went to your website, fill up the form, and here I am. Okay, so Instagram may not be the final destination, but it's where they get in there. So that's why you need to have your images on Instagram, right? That's why you need to be using Instagram. Just a second. So if you are on Instagram right now, live is on YouTube, youtube.com, claysouzaofficial. Please head over there because we have already started. Okay? claysouzaofficial, youtube.com, claysouzaofficial. So again, why do wedding photographers go to bridal show? Because you're gonna have brides there, people who are ready to book, people who are ready to make a decision. Well, yes and no, but at least you put yourself in front of people who are interested in photography, people who are interested in getting married, people who are getting married. There's no hottest lead than brides that come to a bridal show. So that's why you go there. Think about your Instagram as a big online bridal show. If you do weddings, a big online portfolio showing. If you do families, a big online high school senior portfolio showing. If you do high school seniors, we need to start seeing this a little bit more seriously. It's more than time for us to take Instagram seriously, because I'm telling you, this is me. It's not somebody telling. I'm booking from Instagram. More and more, I find people who booking for Instagram. Last 2 weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we booked a bridal portrait. That a bride who found me on Pinterest. I mean, she found me on Pinterest. I did a few posts on Pinterest. We did put some time into it. Then was learning Pinterest, and we got a good amount of traffic on Pinterest. And suddenly I asked this bride, "How do you find me?" She got Pinterest. I said, "What?" Yeah. So at some point, I will start looking at Pinterest as a way, because Pinterest today is the second search engine out there. It's Google and Pinterest. So because Pinterest is all graphic, it's all images. So people are searching Pinterest all the time. But this live is about Instagram, right? So you need to be out there. Let me share with you this graph, which I thought was really, really cool. Let me share it with you, this graph here. My Photoshop. All right, so Photoshop over here. Let me see. All right, cool. So let me just remove myself. Can I do that? Yeah, cool. All right. So look at this graphic now. That's come from Hootsuite, which is a application that allows you to, is a software that allows you to post on several social media at the same time. So it saves you a lot of time. I don't use Hootsuite. I still do all my posts by hand. But look at the age range there, 13 to 17. Then we have the biggest age range from 18 to 24 and 25 to 34. Right? And then we go 35 to 44, and then it scales down, it tails out. So it's a pretty big range here. But what I want you to focus, I want us to focus on this one over here, right? 18 to 24 and 25 to 34. Why do I want to focus on this? Because this is when they're going to be hitting, probably most of them are going to be hitting after 23, 24, they're going to be hitting the job market. So what they're going to need? They're going to need headshots, right? If they start a small business, maybe their dentistry, they're going to need headshots for the dentistry, right? If they have a small business, they're going to need pictures. Okay, this is how you need to start looking at this. So 24 to 34, they're looking to getting married. If you're a wedding photographer, this is your audience right there, and they are the biggest users of Instagram right now. So we need to be looking at those a little bit differently. If you're not paying attention to those, you need to be really putting some effort in learning a few techniques that I'm going to show you here tonight. All right. So hopefully I was able to convince you that Instagram is a thing. It's not just a fad that's going to go away. All right. So let me see here. So let's get into let me get into the meat and grit of this. All right. So, what are the questions that I hear the most of people when they struggle with Instagram? They don't know what to do, and Instagram keeps changing. It keeps changing. Like every week, there's something new. I've been studying Instagram for a while now. I've been putting a lot of time. I've seen. We still don't have a huge, a massive amount of followers, but one thing that I'm going to tell you is this: number of followers doesn't matter. If number of followers were something that was really important, you can go and buy followers and can have like, you know, 1 million followers tomorrow if you want to. What you want are followers who are interested in your product. There's no point in having 20,000, 50,000, 150,000 followers if they're not your client, if they're not interested in what you're delivering, right? So number of followers at some point in the past was a good measure. Today, what you're looking is interaction. How many people interact with your content? And interaction means different things. We're going to go over what interaction is. All right. So now the questions that we find today are like, do I have to post often on Instagram? And the answer is yes. You have to post at least twice a day. You need to be on Instagram posting at least twice a day. But you're going to ask me, the follow-up question is, but what time do I post? And I'm going to show you how to get to that number. Because in Instagram, actually, it doesn't matter much. In YouTube, you want to be, because, and I'm just saying this because at some point there's this myth that you need to post the same day, the same time, everything be constant. It is like that on YouTube. YouTube take into consideration the time that you post, how often you post. Instagram also takes into consideration how often you post. But YouTube is a little bit more picky on what time you post. If you be consistent at the same time, YouTube relies on that to deliver your content. On Instagram, not that much. But I can show you how to get to that number. Oh, I need to switch my cameras. I flip my camera over there. I'm not showing you what is happening. Camera. Okay, I'm back here. Let's look over here. Can you guys hear me now? Let me see microphone. No, microphone needs to be webcam. All right, can you guys hear me now? Hello. Okay, I think I'm back. All right, cool. So let me see if my webcam is back. It's because of this guy he's on. All right. Let me see if my webcam, because I want to show you on Instagram how you get to, camera. There you go. There you go. Cool. So let me do this a little bit here. Get rid of that ring light reflection there. Cool. All right. So this is my Instagram profile. All right. So the way you get to know if you want to post when your users are online, this is how you do this. You go to your profile, you go to your no, not switch account. So you go to your profile here, in not on home, but here on your profile, the right side, and you see this hamburger menu here. It works the same way on your phone. I'm on my iPad, but it works the same way on your phone. You click here, all right, and you go Insights. On your Insights, you can drop down here, 7 days, 14 days, 30 days. I mean, you can pick here. Let's do 7 days. And then I can go, I think if I go to my followers, I can scroll all the way down. Now I can see, if I click on one of those, you can see the number there. All right. Can you guys see this okay here? So here I have the days, so Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturday, and Sunday. So here now, what happens? I know what time this is the time when my followers are most active on Instagram. All right. So I know that on Mondays from 12 to 6 p.m., this is when I have the most followers active on Instagram, the most active followers on Instagram. Okay. Right there. All right. And same thing on Tuesday. So I know that 3 a.m. you guys are not there, 6 a.m. and I've got that 9 a.m. You're starting to get there, 471. And then it jumps up to 5,000. So this is how I plan my content. I usually do. I do three. I'm trying to get time to do 3 posts a day. Right, 7 in the morning, 1 at 12, and 1 around 6 o'clock. But you see the 12 and 6, like every single day. That's where the number that I have the most number of followers online. So this is something that could guide you to answer that question. What time do I post? What's the best time to post? Because this is what people ask now. What's the best time to post? Although in Instagram, there's not really like a thing like what's my best time to post. But I personally like posting when you guys are online. So you were the first one to see the content, right? Because Instagram likes immediate interaction. Immediate interaction is on the first 2 hours of your post. That's when Instagram values more. So an interaction on Instagram doesn't mean like, doesn't mean like, just like hitting like or any other type of reaction. That's reaction, not interaction. Instagram, interaction for Instagram is commenting, right? Comment on Instagram needs to be 4 words or more. That's how Instagram looks for looks at interaction. 4 words or more. Okay, so so I like having that. And if you get like a comment on your Instagram, and you should be replying as soon as you get that comment. That the first 2 hours is very vital for Instagram to evaluate your post, because Instagram is going to look at this and say how much interaction you have with this. Oh, this post is you have a lot of interaction, a lot of people asking questions, a lot of things happening in that post. Instagram is going to look at it and say, oh, this must be important. Let me show to more people. And this is what you want. You want your Instagram to show your post to more people. That way you can gain more followers. All right. So I kept us here into the insight, and let me know if you guys have any questions, okay? Because there's a lot of information there. I kept us here on the insight because there's a lot of information here. You can see here in the past 7 days, my account reached 7,818. I reached in 7 days 7,818, which is a 27% more than the same period on the previous week, right? April 27th to May 3rd. So accounts engaged 294, 30%, and total followers 1388 plus 2.8%. Like I said in the beginning, our Instagram is not huge. It's not an Instagram that has a massive followers yet. We're gonna get there, but I don't mind, because what I'm looking at this point is the transformation. I look at the transformation. I look 1 year 1 year ago, how many followers do I have? How much engagement I was getting on my posts, right? And I always comparing. I'm looking for the evolution. I'm not looking for huge numbers right now. I'm looking for evolution. How am I moving forward? Which type of content is working better? Which kind of content is getting more interaction, so I can keep posting more of that type of content? And why is that important? Because people consume content differently. Some people like reading, right? Some people don't like reading. So if you get a post that you do that has a lot of text, you deliver to somebody who doesn't like reading, they're not gonna look at the post. They're gonna pass right by it and not really pay attention to that. That's why you should be doing all kinds of different type of content. You should be doing text-based content. You should be doing audio. You should be doing video, reels. Instagram is really big on videos now. They're really delivering videos because they want to fight TikTok, right? They try to buy TikTok. TikTok said, I'm not going to sell. So that's why they come up with reels. This is how it goes. This is exactly how it goes. Stories, they come up with stories because Snapchat, right? So TikTok is really big right now. TikTok's not selling. Instagram said, well, I need to do something about it. So they create the reels. YouTube has YouTube Shorts, which is the same thing as the TikTok. They just have some different tools to create and to effects, but it's the same idea. Everybody's trying to compete with everybody because TikTok, then Instagram create reels. Now YouTube said we need to do something, so they did YouTube Shorts. Okay, so this is all to talk about the time to post. So the time to post really doesn't matter, but if you want to post when your users are online, go there, find what time the user are online. I showed you how to do that, and post on that time. I think it's a good strategy. This is how I work, and I feel like it's working for us. Okay. What should I post? That's another question. What should I post? I'm going to tell you, the best post is the post that has been posted. It sounds like a tongue twister. The best post is the post that has been posted, right? Post, if you don't have it, just post it. Post it. Get used to it. Stop comparing yourself with influencers. Those people, that's all they do in life. We have different priorities. Those people, all they do is stay on Instagram, taking selfies and doing all this stuff and promoting the products. They get paid for that, right? The same way you get paid to do photography, they get paid to promote business. So stop comparing yourself to influencers. Is just going to discourage you from posting, because your post is not going to hit the same numbers at an influencer post. Just go there and post, because practice makes perfection. Okay, go post. Stop comparing. Stop comparing yourself with other people, and just post. Just go there and post something. You're going to start. You're going to see. You're going to start measuring. Look at the measures. Look at how many people commented. Look at the insights. You can go to any post of yours. Let me show you something here. Setting cameras. Let's go into my iPad again. So you can go into any post. Let's see where I am. All right, cool. I'm over here. You can go into any post. If you click on this post here, okay, you're going to have this tab here, View Insights. This is the interaction that you got in that post. For this post that I did, May 11th, that was today, I did this morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, I got like 15 likes, 6 comments, and 6 saves. All right. So it reached so far 148 accounts. 21 accounts have engaged, and 4 accounts have some type of profile activity with my profile. Okay. So here's go again the numbers. From those 148, 8 were not following. So that's a good thing, right? I made this post like 9 o'clock this morning. Already 8 people who didn't know who I was start looking at my thing, at my profile. All right. This is where my posts are showing from home 159, from hashtags. There's this myth that hashtags doesn't do anything. Hashtag does great things. Use hashtags, and if you use hashtags, you don't need to do a lot of them. Anything between 12 and 15, that's what you need to do. When you look at your hashtags, look at hashtags that have a big reach, because if you are a photographer, if you're shooting Canon, if you put like hashtag Canon has like millions and millions and millions of people posting every day, every hour, every minute. You're not going to be recognizable. Use Instagram tags that have big reach, smaller reach, like medium reach and small reach. So I always prefer medium to small than big reach. All right. Accounts engaged and post interactions. So this is how you find how your post did, and at some point we don't have time today, but tonight, but at some point I'm going to show you how to make the calculation to figure out if the post is doing well or not. All right, cool. So now let me talk to you a little bit about editorial lines. What are editorial lines? How to use them? Because editorial lines are key to figure out how to post, what to post. All right. So we're here on my paper here. Let me turn this mic this way a little bit so you can hear me. All right. So editorial line is nothing more than just like, think of editorial line as a recipe for your post, right? So the way to think about this is when you should be taking notes, because this is going to be hard to remember everything. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways that we should be thinking about this. Actually, this recipe comes with like 4 different ingredients, right? One of these is what we call what. What am I going to post, right? The other one is the format. And I'm going to explain each one of them. Another one is the language. And another one, what we call the FX. What am I going to post? And when I say what am I going to post, I'm not talking about the topic. Is it a review? Am I going to post a review of a product? Okay. It could be a review. It could be opinion. So let's say my opinion. Why you can do a post like that? Why you don't need a 45 megapixel camera if you're a wedding photographer? That's your opinion, right? And be controversial if you have to, because this is what attracts people. Okay, checklist. Checklist is a great thing to post. Checklist. Five best lighting patterns for headshots. This is a checklist right there, right? What else do we have? Behind the scenes. That's pretty explanatory. Behind the scenes analysis. You can analysis. You can do analysis of some news that you saw online. It doesn't need to be 100% related to shooting, but it should be related to photography. All right. What else? Tutorial. So the last post that I showed, oops, lots of folks here. tutorial, you can do like I do this a lot. You can see the two ways to use gels that photographers should know. That's a tutorial right there, right? Let me see what else I have here. How to deal with price objection. That's another tutorial. That's a how-to, right? So 3 tips if you're new to flash photography. So once you decide what you're going to post, that's the first thing. Now you're going to decide on the format. From here, you're going to go over here. The format. And the format could be static, just an image. Like I post like not long ago, I post this thing, follow a good mentor. When you follow a good mentor, you become one. This is just like a motivation phrase that I post there. That's static. There's nothing happening there. It's just a post. It's static, right? Format can be static. Format can be reels. You all know what reels are, right? A video. I think the IGTV is done, so they call out video, Instagram video. Carousel. Carousel are the ones that you like. Carousels are actually the best one for you to get engagement because you can pack a lot of information in one single post. Okay, it could be a live. So now you decide on your format, right? Let's say I'm going to do a post on 3 tips if you're new to flash photography, because this is my this profile here is all about teaching people how to use flash composition and how to pose, right? So I'm posting things like that. So on your feed, you could post like something like 3 tips if you're wedding photographer. 3 tips to find the best DJ for your wedding day, right? And you go there and you give your 3 tips. So 3 tips to decide which type of makeup is going to be really cool for your wedding day. That type of stuff. If you're a high school senior, so 5 tips on 5 best locations to shoot your high school senior on the fall during the fall. Okay, so that type of stuff that you pack in information there, because what happens, what you need to do, you need to give them content that is valuable for them instead of just post a beautiful image, because this is what I'm seeing right now. Some of you are doing that, and that doesn't work. You're doing like, you post a beautiful picture and say, hire me. Why are they going to hire you? Because they saw a beautiful picture. Guess what? I'm sorry to tell you, but Instagram is packed with beautiful pictures. Why are they going to hire you? People buy from people who they know, they like, they trust. You show a picture and say, hire me. So you didn't give anything to them. You need to give them something. So just look at my feed. I'm always giving you guys something, right? And this is what it's all about. You give them something. So you find what you want to do. Let's do. I'm going to do behind the scenes, a video behind the scenes. Okay. Once you decide on this, you're going to go to the tab that's language. So in language, it could be text. So something that you just write is a text. It could be audio. It could be dance. If you feel like you can dance, you could dance on Instagram. That's fine. And you could do an infographic. What else? You could do you could double. So let's say you have somebody talking and you're talking over that type of stuff, right? So once you decide on your language, you need to decide which type of emotion I want to invoke. This is the FX. This is the emotion. Which type of emotion? Because this is tied up with what you want the followers to do. All right. Which type of emotion? Gratitude. It could be. I could do a post that evokes gratitude, admiration. I'm running out of room here. happiness. You can do some posts that invoke some polemic feeling, right? It could be motivation, right? Motivation. Okay, there's a bunch of here. I think this is good. This is going to give us a good example. So now, once you have this, now you're going to decide, right? I'm going to do a review on a Canon 100mm macro. So my what is going to be a review. And then you're going to decide, how am I going to do that? I'm just going to do like a static post, like an image. I'm just going to put like an image on my feed and write a review on the description, or am I going to do a reels of it, or am I going to do a video, right? Or I'm going to do a carousel. I think a carousel would be really good. So I'm going to review and use a carousel. Carousel, I can add text, I can add video, I can add images of that image. So, but what's going to be the language on that? If it's a carousel, it's probably going to be text, right? And so it could be text. You can also could do audio on a carousel. You could also do video in carousel. But let's keep the text there. And which kind of emotion I want to invoke when I create that? Which kind of emotion? If I could pick like one emotion that's going to invoke people when you see that, which kind of emotion I want to invoke? Gratitude, right? Maybe admiration. Okay, maybe happiness. Maybe they're thinking about buying that lenses and they say, oh, I love this review, that I'm happy that I saw this. Now I know it's a good lens, and I'm going to buy it, right? Polemic. Maybe somebody thought that lens is a piece of crap, I don't like it, so that then you get a polemic. But once you do that, if you plan on doing this, like for every post, I know it looks like a lot of work, but once you get the hang of it, it's like boom, boom, boom. It will take you maybe like 1 or 2 weeks to get the hang of it. Once you get the hang of it, and there's a whole lot more feelings, a whole lot more in this list here. This list is really long, but these are good starting point. So you can start this, because this is basically for photographers. So I kind of narrow down to photography things. All right. So once you decide on this, your posts are going to be much easier. To do. Now I want to finish this with something that I think is really important, because what's the anatomy of a post, right? What makes a good post? Because it's something like, we're going to go there, we're going to post, but what makes a good post? There are some things, like in everything, right? In photography, we know when people look at my images, sometimes they say, oh, I love this image. I'm thinking, I don't say this, of course. Yeah, I mean, I know, because the composition is good, because the line is great, because I use the rule of thirds, I use the golden spiral composition rule. We kind of know. I mean, we know it's going to be a good image, right? It's like a lot of people who write songs, they know what's going to be a good. Don't you think that those artists, they don't know? They know which song is going to be a hit or not, right? So it's just marketing, that they don't do like a recording with a bunch of songs that are going to be a hit, but they know which ones are going to hit, because it has components that people like. Millions and millions and billions of dollars have been spent on research, right? We get hit all the time by research. So same thing with your post. There are some things in a post that makes a good post. So it's always like it's about, let's start. This is the last piece, guys. Hang like that with me. It's about a few things that makes a good post. Let's go back here. Let's go back to my Instagram and show you my Instagram. Settings, camera.
All right, there it is again. Cool. So this is my feed. Let's look at this post here. What makes a good post? First of all, graphics, right? Uh, because of my the purpose of this profile, you can see I put my face in a lot of posts. My face is there in a lot of posts, right? Talking about gels. This is talking about gels. There I am in the background, not really very intrusive, with an incredible shirt, a little bit of red to create a nice composition, a nice color scheme to the post, and I'm holding some gels, right? This is me. I don't mind putting my face out there because was something I didn't mind in the beginning, but I got used to it, and this is something that was necessary. It was something that was necessary for me to do, right? So, but you look at it, if you look over here, you can look at two ways to use gels. You see gels is in red because it's highlighted. Highlight important information. You can highlight in different colors, italic, whatever it is. Highlight important information. And every time you do a post, always keep whatever is important, whatever's going to be on the cover of your post, always keep that in 1080 by 1080. So this little square here is 1080 by 1080, right? You can see every post that I do, you have all the information on the cover over there because it's, like I said, it's planned. So I want everybody to be able to see it, because if I go bigger than 1080 by 1080, it's going to cut information. People are not going to know what it is. And this is a good tip. And the second tip here that I give to you, this is a carousel, right? If you don't know what a carousel is, that's what it is. Okay. So another very important tip for carousel is like, this is the cover, right? You must have a second cover. Don't go from your cover right into the subject. Okay. Because what happens is that if somebody's scrolling through your feed, okay, if they don't stop and click on that carousel, what happens, the next time that person comes into your feed, Instagram is going to show them the second slide. Instagram, if they didn't click on your carousel for the first time they came through, Instagram is going to show the next time, it's going to show this slide. So as you can see here, I have my title on the first slide, and then on the second slide, I'm saying almost the same thing. Not all gels are created equal. Some are creative and others are color correction gels. So if you land in this page here, in this slide, you know I'm going to talk about gels. Different from if this was my second slide. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Why I'm going to ask you to save, right? Or if I would land over here, it has a big title, creative gels, you may be able to figure out. But this is a little trick that we do. First cover, title, second cover, first cover, title, second cover, title also, right? You see, I keep the same color scheme throughout the thing. And on the third one here, I'm asking you to save. This is called a call to action. Every post needs to have call to action. But the first thing that you need to think about a post is what you're going to write. Headline, right? Are you using gels in your photography? Space. If not, why not? Right? I start with a question. This gets people curious. It gets people, okay, what the hell is talking about? Right? And then I write. I write a lot. I do write a lot. I have a keyboard that I can Bluetooth into my phone, and I type on my keyboard. That's why I wouldn't be typing 1/3 of this if I was just typing on the computer. Okay, so I type a lot. So this is what it is, right? So first thing that you need to have is a good title. Are you using gels in your photography? I always like to ask questions. If you look at my posts, most of them you start asking a question. Let me see if this one here. Let me see if I make myself a liar. Who's got time for dirty lenses? I always ask a question because that gets people attention, right? You ask the question and then you go on talking about what you want to write. So you don't have to write that much. At the end here, at the bottom, I don't put I don't put my hashtags on comment like a lot of people do. I do on the post. But if you look at the anatomy of this, I wrote a big chunk here, which is really not what I do. I try to keep this like short, 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 and too spaced in between them. Give people breathing room. Okay, and then at the end, I have how many? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Anything between 12 and 15 tags is enough, right? So look at my tags. Photography, that's a big tag. There's a lot of posting photography. I'm dragging photography style, not as many. 808 with clay. This is for me to find my posts. Every time I post something, I write 808 with clay. If someday wants to let me see all my posts, I just search for the hashtag 808 with clay, and that's what I'm gonna see, right? So 808 with clay, photography education, educator. I repeat this one here: flash photography, flash expert, outdoor photography, blah blah blah, strobes, blah blah. Things that are related to your photography. If you shoot a bride and groom portrait, you can put like bride, groom. Those are big hashtags. Couples. If it's outdoors, outdoor photography. If it's indoor photography. Outdoor wedding, indoor wedding, indoor weddings. So you use like big hashtags and small hashtags. Okay, so this is in the writing. The second thing, when you write your copy, tell a story. Always tell a story with your copy. Tell a story. Don't be cheap on the words, right? And the third thing that makes an anatomy of a good post is call to action. So on this slide here, I think I have 10 here. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I do have 10 slides here. When I have a lot of slides, if I have 2 or 3 slides, I just do one call to action. But here, I have cover, second cover. I go right, save this post now before you forget. Okay, I want people to save my post, because when Instagram sees that a lot of people save their post, it means that your post is good. People are saving, they're going to show to more people. You want people to save your post. You want people to share. And you need to do that call to action. But when you do your call to action, don't go do a call to action that you have like, save this, share this. No, one thing at a time, right? Save this post, and then you go into your post. You can do lighting schemes. You can do all of that, write whatever you want to do. And at the end, did you find it useful? Then save it for later. And also in your copy, you also do your call to action in your copy. If you look at the bottom here, you're going to see it's a fun technique, because I'm talking about the white balance shift, right? It's a fun technique that works really well. Have you ever tried something like this? Let me know in the comments, right? I mean, always write in call to action, because sometimes you think that people are not going to read. They do read this. I mean, I get comments on my post sometimes, the DMs, that people who I know they read it, right? So if you look at the insights of this post, what we have here, let's see. All right, look, I have 15 likes, 6 comments, 0 shares, and 6 saves. I post this like today, 9 o'clock in the morning. Already has 6 saves. All right, why? Because I'm asking people to save. Right? I ask here and I ask at the end. You can see every single post of mine always have a call to action. So do this for me. Do this for us. Help us. Because if you don't ask, people are not going to do it. This is just what it is. If you don't ask, people don't do it. And there's nothing wrong with asking. Okay? I think this is like pretty much everything that I have to do tonight. Went over 54 minutes already. I'm sorry that went that long, but there was a lot of stuff to talk about. If you have any questions, you can send me a DM. All right. I will upload this to YouTube, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that I answered some of your questions. because I think that has Luana, yay! Because it has a lot of this that I talked about here is really based on your questions, right? I mean, the question you ask, you can see everything because once you start doing this, and guys, frequency, right? Every day, at least twice a day. Every day, at least twice a day. And if you're gonna do stories, we didn't cover stories here. If you're gonna do stories, always give preference to stories that show who you are, who is behind the camera, who is the photographer behind the camera. People like that. It was hard to believe to me that, I mean, I had a hard time believing that people would really like to see what I'm eating. And you can see my stories are getting less and less elaborated later, right? I just popped the phone like walking today. I did a call for this live today this morning when I was going to go and have lunch. I was going to go and grab lunch. I was like, okay, I was walking and doing the call, right? It doesn't need to be that elaborated all the time. Okay, show your human side in your stories and show what you have to show to your clients in your feed, right? Think about this. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to send me a DM. There's a lot of information to unpack about Instagram. It's a great tool. Do not let it go unnoticed. I want to give a heads off to Jeff, because I've seen Jeff posting more and more, and I know he's already collecting results from those posts. So it is possible to do. We booking more and more from Instagram. Guys, don't let it go. Don't. I know it's a changing behavior. It's hard, but it is something more you have to do. Yes, it is, but that's where your clients are. And if you want clients, you need to be where your clients are. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to me for almost 1 hour. Luana, good to see you. Bom ver você aqui, garota. So good to see you guys. Good to see you guys here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for like 57 minutes now. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me on DM. Send me an email. Send me a smoke sign. I'm here to help you. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you on Monday. And if you have questions, ask. Okay. Bye-bye.